Dallas, Texas, 1984, Republican National Convention, the heart of Ronald Reagan's America.
Hey, Edge, give me El Salvador through an amplifier.
I am cordially invited to escort Miss Joan Collins for a week of fundraising parties and a rip-snorting good time in Big D.
In the howling wind comes a stinging rain. See it driving nails into the soul of the tree of pain.
Joan and I became close. I made frequent visits to her trailer at the Warner Brothers Hollywood lot. Unbeknownst to most, Joan loved her cannabis, but was shamed by the stigma of the pungent aroma her favorite Maui Wowie left in the air. I had a line on edibles, Jellybeans to be specific, from my Youngstown associate, shopping mall tycoon, and owner of the San Francisco 49ers, Eddie DeBartolo Jr.
From the firefly, the red-orange glow, see the face of fear running scared in the valley below.
In the 80s, Jellybeans were all the rage and came in a variety of flavors. Everybody had their favorite combos: peanut butter and jelly, green apple and cinnamon, even crazy ones like licorice and lime. Ugh. To a hotbed like Joan, this was paradise. A mellow high with no mess and no smell. And it took care of the munchies. She called them my magic beans.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bullet the blue sky, bullet the blue.
Say what you will about Ronald Reagan as a politician or as an actor, but after the 70s, with the likes of Nixon and Carter, he brought pizzazz back to the White House. The guy knew how to talk to the camera. He was all about stagecraft. It was in this spirit that I decided to invite my young friend Bono from U2 to go with us to the convention.
In the locust wind comes a rattle and hum. Jacob wrestled the angel, and the angel was overcome.
Now bear in mind, this is mid-1984. This is the young Bono, still finding himself politically. The Bono with the white flag, the Bono with the mullet. Bono on the cusp, if you will.
You plant a demon seed. You breed a flower of fire. You see them burning crosses. You see those flames get higher and higher.
Joan was a staunch monarchist, lover of the Queen, and supporter of Maggie Thatcher. And Bono, a reactionary supporter of Northern Ireland, of course. Talk about two flavors that maybe didn't mix. Thank God for the magic beans. Otherwise, things could have gotten a little acrimonious. Instead, suffice to say, some minds, hearts, and maybe between you and I, some legs were open that evening.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bullet the blue sky.
Cut to the next day, and we're standing in line waiting to meet the president in security. Now, there hadn't been a major political shindig in Dallas since you-know-what in November 1963. They started planning this damn thing a year in advance. To say security was tight and pressure was high, forget about it.
Suit and tie comes up to me, his face red like a rose on a thorn bush, with all the colors of a royal flush.
Just about the time it's our turn to step into this security gauntlet, Joan's dope paranoia kicks in big time. She turns back to me in her breathy Queen's English accent and whispers, "I've got some magic beans stuffed in my brassiere. Do you think the dogs can smell?"
And he's peeling off them dollar bills, he's slapping them down. 100, 200.
I looked at the amount of guns, handcuffs, and German shepherds in our path and thought we were done for. Miraculously, between Joan's cleavage, Bono's burgeoning gravitas, and my gift of gab, we charmed our way through with no problems.
And I can see those fighter planes. And I can see those fighter planes.
Anyways, once we were inside, with our paranoia now in full bloom, we retreated to the bathroom to get rid of the magic beans in Joan's décolletage.
Across the mud huts as the children sleep, through the alleys and the quiet city streets. Take the staircase to the first floor. You turn the key and slowly unlock the door.
Suddenly, Door swings open. In walks ex-Secretary of State himself, General Alexander Haig. We froze. It was like being caught by the principal. Haig spots the magic beans on the sink and says, "Hey, jelly beans, the president loves these. You mind?" Before we can answer, he snatches them up, pops a few in his mouth, and the rest in his pocket, and he leaves.
There's a man breezing through his saxophone, and through the walls you hear the city groan.
So, finally it's our turn for a handshake and a photo op with Ron and Nancy. Al Haig introduces us, but Reagan was infamous during this period of time for not hearing so good. He was always cocking his head and cupping his ear to hear a question from the press like this.
Outside it's America. Outside it's America. Yeah, America, baby. Edge is gonna play the blues.
So he looks at Bono and says, "Very pleased to meet you, Bonzo. I used to work with a Bonzo." As in Bedtime from the movie. Bono thinks Reagan is goofing on him, calling by the name of his chimp co-star. I can see the Irish rage rising up in his eyes.
See across the field, you see the sky ripped open, you see the rain coming through a gaping wound.
So yours truly deftly steps in and says, "His name is Bono, Mr. President, and he's a singer, not an actor." I don't know if it was my delivery or everybody was high on magic beans, but the whole group broke out laughing. We couldn't stop. Everybody had the giggles. The photographer started snapping and captured a brief, beautiful moment where the whole world finally made sense. Left and right together, sharing a laugh.
Pelting the women and the children who run.
Bono still swears to this day that someone squeezed his tuchus during the photo op melee. Probably Joan, but who knows? Maybe Al slipped Nancy a magic bean. Just say no indeed.
Into the arms of America. Where else?